Representative Smisek, together with the Senate Minority Leader, Senate Majority Leader rather, Senator Cream, sponsored a resolution pertaining to Chanukah. And I think that this will be a fitting time to invite them to come up to the podium, together with Representative Balser and any other members who would like to come up from the House and the Senate. And the Senate Minority Leader, Bruce Tarr, asked me to extend his apologies. His brother passed away, and he's at the wake. Other than that, he said he'd be here tonight. He always joins us at this event, and we always appreciate his participation. So I'll welcome the Senate Majority Leader and everybody else to please come up.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'd like to ask Senator Friedman, Senator Bonifati, Senator Timothy, my friend Representative Pike, Representative Benson, Representative Michaelowitz, Representative Ayers, Representative Ryan, Representative Hunt, and if I missed Representative Walsh, if I skip somebody, I apologize. Please come up. This is a joint resolution. My pal who's leaving me here, Representative Smisek. This is a resolution which I will read from the House, from the Senate, and from the House. Whereas the Jewish Festival of Chanukah will be celebrated throughout the world from the evening of December 2nd through December 10th, 2018, and whereas the celebration of Chanukah honors the courageous victory of a small army which, although greatly outnumbered, prevailed against the forces of religious persecution. And whereas the celebration of Chanukah also commemorates the belief that a great miracle followed this victory, when a small jar with only enough oil to burn for a single day lit the menorah for 8 days, bringing joy to all who had fought for the right to teach and worship freely. And whereas the celebration of the Festival of Lights is preserved around the world through the lighting of the menorah, symbolizing the ideal of religious freedom and offering a beacon of hope to all those still subject to spiritual oppression. And whereas Rabbi Lieberman, leader of Congregation Lubavitch and director of the Jewish Educational Center, Congregation Lubavitch, shares the joy of light with all citizens of the Commonwealth by annually kindling a menorah in the city of Boston. And whereas the annual lighting of the menorah in the city of Boston confirms our commitment to the universal right to religious expression and spiritual freedom of all people of the Commonwealth and around the globe, now therefore be resolved that the Massachusetts General Court hereby joins with people everywhere in the celebration of Chanukah and invites citizens of the Commonwealth to attend this annual lighting. And this is signed by the President of the Senate, Speaker of the House, myself, Representative Isaac, and hundreds of other members of, too many to call, of the legislature. So, Mayor, and thank you. And before I really like to say a special thank you to Rabbi Lieberman and hope that we can applaud, because he is someone that perseveres. When you talk about persevering, he does this year after year, and it would not happen if it weren't for him. So thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Senator Cream, for these nice words of flattery. Don't worry, flattery gets you everywhere. I'll tell you, this event, which is an important event, I feel this year also, we should say that we're dedicating it in memory of President George Bush, who passed away right before Chanukah began this past Saturday. He wasn't a long-serving president, but I had the opportunity actually to meet him several times while he was president. He served our country faithfully as a member of the United States Navy in World War II. He was a congressman. As you know, he was born here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a CIA director, a vice president, and a president. And I always found him to be very gentle and to be a man of compassion. And he liked all kinds of people. He even had people in his office I know that sometimes robbed him. He would put his arm around them and say, don't worry about it. I had the opportunity in Chanukah of 1989 to visit President Bush at the White House in the Oval Office and to present him with a menorah, which was on display in the Oval Office during Chanukah of 1989. And I actually found a relic of this newspaper from 29 years ago. And it was a very nice event we had at the White House. And I'm lucky I found this to show everybody. But this was long before the White House conducted any Chanukah party like they do today. And he still put this menorah on display for people to see. And he would tell people it's a symbol of freedom. And in fact, even this year, the annual Chanukah party at the White House, which was supposed to be Wednesday, is now been postponed in his honor. In any event, to continue on with our program, I'd like to introduce some of the people who are here, and I just haven't got the opportunity to put everybody up to speak, but the sheriff is here, so just everybody should see who the sheriff is. Governor Council next to him. And we appreciate that. And the Secretary of Transportation is over here. And we're happy to have her here. She makes sure everything goes smoothly. She has a very important cabinet position, so give her a round of applause. To my left is actually the new Consul General to New England. This is the first time I'm meeting him. His predecessor was here with us the last few years, and he was a good friend of mine. I'm sure the new Consul General and I are going to become friends over his tenure when he's here in Boston in the next few years. So give a round of applause to the Consul General. Come up for a second, say hello. Everybody sees who you are. Come up for a second, just to say hello. Okay, good. After all, Chanukah occurred in Israel, in Jerusalem, in the Holy Temple. So we have to make sure that Jerusalem is going to be safe to continue on. When the massacre occurred a couple of weeks ago in Pittsburgh, one of the first people to text me after this happened was the Lieutenant Governor. And she said, I'm sorry what happened, and what can we do to work for in the future to make sure these things don't happen again. So I'm very glad that the Lieutenant Governor is here with us tonight. Last year we missed you, but he said to me, I'll be here next year, if you kept your word. So I'd like to welcome the Lieutenant Governor to please come up and say a few words.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone here. I'm so honored to be here with all of my colleagues in government. They've all been named multiple times, and most importantly, to be here with friends and parents and the students who are here. I love this tradition, and it's a very special tradition, thanks to people like Rabbi Lieberman, who make sure that we come and all feel invited and included in this celebration. And while it's so important that we come together at our State House here in our capital city to light this menorah tonight, what warms my heart even more so is when I travel through the communities of this Commonwealth, into downtowns and main streets and neighborhoods, and I see the menorah so evident in so many places in Massachusetts. And it's a reminder to all of us that we live in a great place where tolerance and respect and civility are evident everywhere. But the opportunity is to use the presence of the menorah as a teaching moment. And children who must understand who lives in this community. Why is this menorah lit for the next 7, 8 nights? Why is this important? It's a real opportunity for all of us to use that as a way to preach the values that we hold so dear. And it's an opportunity to just remind ourselves how we can act every single day, embracing the values of kindness and love and respect and civility every single day, and reject the things that hold us back, the things that hurt others, and bigotry and racism and discrimination and persecution. And while these moments at this time of year are so special and so warm, I must feel like you in that 8 days is great, but the feelings that we enjoy during these 8 days and during this holiday should be evident more so in all the days throughout the year. And so I come to this moment tonight to pray with you that there's more joy and civility and respect in 2019 in all of the days of the year. And that when we come here together next year at this time, we feel more joy in our Commonwealth and in the communities that she embodies. Bless you all, and thank you for having me once again.
Thank you for these pertinent words, and if more people would take after Lieutenant Governor and impart these teachings to their children, the world would be a much different place. Before I call upon the Governor, who's going to be our last speaker, don't worry, and our keynote speaker that we've been waiting for, I'm going to let you know about this easel that we have over here from the Postal Service. As you know, many years, the Postal Service has always unveiled different stamps. And when it comes to the holiday season, for many years, everybody used to look forward to buying the Christmas stamps. When I was a young boy, I used to say to my father, why don't they have Chanukah stamps? Well, in any event, we have representation here from the post office, and they're going to explain that to you. So come up to the podium.
Good evening, folks, and the United States Postal Service is honored to have been asked to participate in the annual lighting of the Hanukkah menorah on the Grand Staircase here at the Massachusetts State House. Thank you to the Speaker of the House, DeLeo, and Rabbi Lieberman for inviting us here this evening. The United States Postal Service and the Israeli Post jointly issued the Hanukkah stamp on October 16, 2018. The first day of issue ceremony was held inside America's oldest synagogue, the 254-year-old Torah synagogue in Newport, Rhode Island. Hanukkah is a family-centered holiday with traditional foods, games, toys, and the 8 nights of the lighting of the menorah. The Hanukkah stamp artwork features a menorah created using the ancient Jewish folk art technique of paper cutting. Behind the menorah is the shape of an ancient oil jug that represents the heart of the Hanukkah miracle. Other design elements include cradles and a palm-like plant with fruit and flowers. Art director Ethel Kessler was a designer, and artist Tamar Fishman then created a pencil sketch and cut the 2-dimensional images onto white paper. She chose blue, purple, green papers for the background. The Hanukkah stamp is issued as a forever stamp and will always be equal to the cost of a first-class mail 1-ounce price. At this time, I would like to welcome Speaker of the House, DeLeo, Rabbi Lieberman, Governor Baker, and Lieutenant Governor Polito to join me in unveiling this year's Hanukkah stamp. And in recognition of today's event, I'd like to give 2 pieces of recognition out. To the Speaker of the House, Robert Lt annual lighting of the Chanukah Menorah, Massachusetts State House, Grand Staircase, December 3rd, 2018.
Stay there, stay there.
None of us would be here this evening if it wasn't for this individual. So I'd like to present on behalf of the United States Postal Service to Rabbi Lieberman annual lighting of the Hanukkah Menorah, Massachusetts State House, Grand Staircase event, December 3rd, 2018.
Thank you so much for giving me this replica of the stamp. And I hope everybody here goes out and buys this stamp so that they'll do it again year after year after year. And I think the exact same picture is on the stamp in Israel, am I right? So this will unite people all over the world for goodness and bring light to everybody. Thank you again for bringing this to us, and thank you, Post Office. Now I'd like to introduce to you our keynote speaker, the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And following his speech, we're going to light the menorah, and then you're going to get refreshments. So everybody give a big welcome to the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
So, one of the things that happens when you get to the point in life where your birthday starts with a 6, and where you've had a number of years in public life, and you spent a lot of time inside churches and chapels and synagogues and temples and all sorts of other houses of worship around the Commonwealth, and in some cases around the country, you learn to appreciate what that freedom of religion really means, and just how big a tent we have here in the United States of America, and how important faith, whatever your faith might be, is to literally hundreds of millions of people in this country. And today is about, and these 8 days are about a big miracle. But there are small miracles that are associated with the differences and the faiths and the traditions that make all of the religions in this country and in this Commonwealth so special. And as I look at all of you, I'm going to talk about one. So about 15 years ago, I went to my first bar mitzvah as a parent. Have I got your attention? Now, the reason I was there was because one of our kids had a friend who was having their bar mitzvah. And I went in and I expected a lot of ritual and a lot of tradition, and mostly I was looking forward to the party. And about a third of the way through the ceremony, they called the parents up to be with their son. And their parents and the son's parents talked to their son about how proud they were of him, and a little bit about what some of their hopes and dreams were for him in his life as he became a young adult. And I confess that I cried like a baby through the whole thing. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. And as we were walking home later that night after the party, which was great, I said to my wife, Lauren, we need to do that for our kids. So if you were one of our 3 kids on your 13th birthday, in addition to a cake, sitting around our kitchen table, you got a letter from Mom and Dad about how proud we were of all you've become and what some of our hopes and dreams were for you as you became a young adult. Now, the miracle in this wasn't just that my wife and I were so moved by this particular tradition of the Jewish faith that we felt we had to bring it into our home, but how much our 3 kids absolutely loved it. And they asked us to do it again on their 16th birthday, and on their 18th birthday, and on their 21st birthday, because it was special. Now, I wouldn't have known about that if I hadn't gone to a bar mitzvah. And I can tell you about so many other traditions and rituals, so many different houses of worship that I've had a chance to witness and learn from and grow from and learn to love over the course of my life. Freedom of religion is more than just a concept. It's a bedrock of what makes this country and the people who are part of it special. It's that chance and that opportunity to learn from one another that there are a lot of ways to the top of the mountain. And that we all, in many cases, benefit from that chance to learn from those who take a different path than we do. You know, my mom always used to say, if all you ever do, my mom, God rest her soul, is a Democrat. My dad's a Republican. They didn't vote for the same person ever. And if you sat at our dinner table, you knew that. But both my parents used to say the same thing about this, which is if all you always do is talk to people you agree with all the time, you don't learn much of anything. Your greatest opportunities for growth come from those conversations you have with people, and they're conversations, they're not fights, they're not contests, they're not arguments. Come from those conversations you have with people whose life experience and whose point of view is a little different than yours. And I am so grateful that my kids had friends who were Jewish, so that on a number of occasions we've had a chance to grow and to learn from and to experience some of those traditions and rituals that make this religion so special. And while we celebrate the 8 days of Hanukkah now, I think it's really important for all of us to remember that the bigger opportunity for celebration is the one that comes with appreciating and understanding, believing in and celebrating that those approaches to faith, those things that make people who they are, and the possibility and the hope that's created by a country like ours, that's pluralistic and believes here, as well as here, that our greatness is imbued in our diversity and our differences. So unique. And to echo some of the words of the previous speakers, my colleagues in government, I sure hope 2019 is a much better reflection of that great aspiration of what this country is supposed to be all about in 2018. Have a blessed Hanukkah.
Thank you, Governor Baker. I think the crowd would agree with me. It was a keynote speech worth waiting for, wasn't it? If we can translate these ideals into our everyday life, as the governor said, next year will be a wonderful year. And to start us off on the right foot, we're going to light the giant menorah now. I'm going to ask the governor and the speaker and the Senate president to join me on the sizzle lift to light it. I'm going to call to the podium Cantor Sokol from the Metro West Jewish Day School to lead us in the blessings. Cantor Sokol.
Governor Baker let his head in the ceiling.
Not quite.
Thank you.
the choir, and I'm going to ask the United States Navy Band to conclude this event by playing God Bless America, and then everybody's invited over for refreshments, their poster, some are near, some are far, and I'm going to ask everybody and the folks to join us in singing God Bless America with the Navy Band.